I'm Oisin Butler and we're in Dean's Grange. I have a painting company in Dublin and we work predominantly in homes. We like painting kitchens because it's difficult and each one's unique. So this kitchen we're going to paint today is a standard kitchen you find in most homes. It's never been painted before. It's like a lacquered kitchen. It's a wood look. The products we're using here today are all water-based products from Dulux. So we've got a water-based grip primer, water-based undercoat and a water-based top coat, which are great products to use, but they're different to the oil-based products. So you have to approach it a bit differently. And the colour we're using is Chef's Hat, which is a creamy colour. Will look great in this kitchen, but we could also use any colour at all. Like Dulux have thousands of colours, so you can pretty much have any colour you like. What we have to do is give it a good clean down, good sand down, and prime and paint. But before we do any of that, we've got to take the doors off. We take the screws out here, leave the hinges on, and just pop the doors off. Once we've popped the door off, we'll put a number here. We'll just get a bit of masking tape, write down number 1. Right inside here, number 1, 2, and cover that in masking tape and bring it outside. The reason for this is once you have all these doors painted up, you're not going to remember where they go. So you got to number all the doors. So when you're using water-based paint, you have to make sure it's sparkling clean, like 100% clean, and then dust it down really well, and then, you know, away you go. If you clean it really well, then you're off to a good start. If you don't, then you're going to lose. Best practice is to give them a good sand down. So what we want to do is break the sheen. So take away the sheen, make it all dull, and once we've done that, we get a duster, we dust it all down, and a tack cloth, and a tack cloth's a cloth that'll gather up any dust that's left around. Do that, and then we've got a surface to paint. So today I'm just going to use a synthetic brush, but it's brand new, it's dry, it's out of pack, so I wouldn't dip this straight into the paint because it's going to drag and it's going to be kind of slow. So if we just soak it a wee bit first, and then spin it out, then that'll be perfect for priming. I'm going to use a rad roller, a mohair sleeve rad roller, to paint these. So I'll apply the paint with this first, but before I use it, it's brand new, it's going to have little hairs on it. So I wrap it up in masking tape and then I put it away. And I don't know if you can see that there's some tiny little hairs there. And it's better to have these on the tape than in your paint finish. So we just do this a couple of times and then it'll be nice and clean and good to work with. Today we're using Dulux Trade Super Grip Primer on the kitchen. It's a water-based primer and it's kind of a sticky primer. We've got lots of different types of primers. It'll stick to anything. It'll stick to glass, it'll stick to tiles, it'll stick to lots of different surfaces. So it's perfect for this. We usually prime first and then have a look and see what needs to be filled. So if there's any cracks or holes or anything stands out, you'll see it after a coat of primer. So then we'll go around, fill all that, sand it back, and then touch it up with the primer again, and then it's ready for an undercoat. A good coat of primer is the foundation for a good finish. And as you can see here, yeah, the primer's covered really, really well. But the primer is more about grip than it is about coverage or anything else. So you want the primer to grip to the surface, and the undercoat will do the job of covering. The undercoat we're using today has been tinted to the finish coat, so that gives the finish coat a bit more body. You know, instead of just using a white undercoat and a white primer and then a tinted top coat, we tint the undercoats too, so you've got layers of colour. Okay, once you put the undercoat on, it'll probably take about 4 or 5 hours to dry. That's if it's warm and there's good airflow. So if it's lashing rain and it's cold, it's going to take longer, but on average about 4 to 5 hours. It's different to oil-based paint. It feels different. You put on a bit heavier, so you can be a bit more generous with this paint. This Dulux Trade Quick Drying Undercoat, and it does what it says. It dries pretty quick, so you do have to move a little faster than you would usually. Not too fast, but a bit faster. So finally we apply Dulux Trade Diamond Satinwood for our finish coat, and usually we apply 2 coats. You'll apply 1 coat and it'll look good and it'll look finished, but it's best to apply 2 coats for a good long lasting finish. Straight away, I don't know if you guys can see this, but the paint kind of grips onto the undercoat really well. It doesn't wash around. It feels real nice on the brush, and I can feels really good. Again, using the roller to apply the paint, it's the same. It just feels really good. I don't know if you can see this, but it's just gripping onto the undercoat really, really well. So it's making my life easy. I'm putting on a good bit of paint, but not too much, not too little. And once I lay it off, it'll look great. The reason water-based is so popular now, it's popular for painters and for homeowners, is there's pretty much no fumes. So we don't have to wear masks, you don't have to air out the house, and you don't feel groggy after painting all day. It's great stuff. And something you can't notice is there's virtually no smell at all. So if I was using an oil-based paint now, I'd probably be wearing a mask even though I'm outside. But with this stuff, you can barely smell it. Okay, so here we are, finished kitchen. After all our hard work and Dulux Diamond Satinwood, we finally got this result. which looks awesome. Really, really happy with this. So the paint we've used here, it's all water-based, so low VOCs, no smells, no fumes, which is fantastic for the family in the house. They've got a little kid on the way as well, which is great, so you don't want any fumes. The paint itself is very tough, it's very durable. It'll stand up to grease and knocks and bumps and bruises, so it's going to last really well. So all in all, very happy, and the family are going to be very happy with this finished result.